All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day and welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Sunday Super Speedway Series here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. 75 laps for our regular season finale before we kick off the 4-race playoff in 1 week's time. So say that we'll be taking the top 16 drivers in points, and then they will be whoever can be the best of those 16 over those final 4 races will be our 2024 Season 1 champion. So hope you are all having a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day weekend. As I say, you'll see plenty of green trucks here in the field tonight. So say hopefully not too many of your favorite drivers. That way you can kind of distinguish them from one another. But yeah, as always, though, we will be running 75 laps, 1 fast repair, 3 green, white, checkered attempts, as you can see there on the info on the top. But the real info we want to look at is this right here. These are the point standings going into tonight. Gabe Butler currently holding a 6-point lead over Seth Groover, 9 over Cody Nagels. I'd say this is just kind of for bragging rights. Everybody's going to reset to 0, or in this case, probably like 500 or 1,000 or whatever the number may be. Everybody's going to reset to even numbers for those that do make the playoffs. But then you look around Sebastian Marin in our cutoff line there in the 16th spot. Again, he's only had a kind of a part-time schedule here, only running a handful of races. But when he's been here, he's been very, very good. So that's why he's up as high as he is. But then you see right behind him, Bob Fitzgerald's right there, Jeremy Osborne, Ambrose Nabel. And so I don't think Austin Call's here tonight either. So the ones I look for are those, like I just mentioned, Bob Fitzgerald and then Jeremy Osborne. Those would be the ones I would keep an eye on to see if they can move their way into that top 16 positions. And I believe those might actually be because, again, like on the back end of things, admins have to do their work because there might be some drivers who are kind of maybe they ran the first 4 races and then they just stopped racing. So it's like, well, we want to make sure it's for the drivers that have been active throughout the season, basically. So we'll wait to see how all that magic happens. But like I said, we will be back in 1 week's time to start our playoffs. We will be off on Tuesday and Thursday, kind of an off week to try to get everything kind of back on schedule with each other. Right now, say we've had a couple of off weeks on the Sunday series with the Super Bowl, the Clash race pre-race, which wound up being a Saturday instead of a Sunday, so kind of wound up for not there. Just little things like that. So we're just trying to get the schedule kind of back together. So gives everybody a little bit of a break, gives Thursday a break before they kick off their playoffs as well there. And like I said, so basically next Sunday will be the start of the playoffs once more. So again, hope you're all doing well. And yeah, so say qualifying underway. Got about a minute and a half left here. We'll see if the timing and scoring shows up correctly. Sometimes it'll actually give us some decent info about how the qualifying is going. Sometimes it likes to lie to us, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then the other thing to mention about the points is, again, it is an 8-race regular season. However, we take the tops or the best 7 races of those 8. So if you've been here every week out of those 8 races, whatever was your worst finishing race, that will be your drop week. If you missed a race due to real life or things of that nature, maybe internet issues, whatever, then that would wind up being your drop week for the race you missed. However, if you've missed more than 1 race, let's say you kind of had 2 weeks off, it'll take 1 of the 2, but it won't, obviously, so you'll have 1 race where it just doesn't score you with points. So rough idea of how the point standings work here with Area 51. And again, that's for Sundays and for Thursdays. However, on Tuesday nights in the IndyCar series, the Area 51 Dark Horse series, that is a season-long points championship. So they'll have 4 races to go as well, but it's based on the points. There won't be any reset or anything like that. Same thing, right? Why they don't run green, white checkers at the end. Just that way, it's as kind of accurate to IndyCar as it can be. All right, so with that, Matt likes to try to interview people, and so let's go ahead and find a victim here. And I don't think there's one better here than this man right here, Mr. Gabe Butler. So say Matt likes to do the pre-race interviews, so we're going to pull Mr. Gabe Butler on in because, Gabe, I feel like if there's a driver and a sponsor and a paint scheme to kind of showcase, it's going to be you and your number 88 Guinness machine here. So first off, happy St. Patrick's Day. Obviously I kind of talked to you a little bit previous. Glad you and your wife got to have a good time last night. So last race of the regular season, leading the regular season points before we reset back here in just a few in 1 week's time, I'll say. So is the goal here just to try to go out and kind of clinch just for bragging rights, or are you looking at teammates, make sure that they're safe to get in? What's the game plan tonight for you?
Mainly the teammates at this point, and just take it easy, enjoy the race, and yes, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Hope you had plenty of cereal today and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I'm just, gonna chill, take it easy, win. If we don't, we don't. Goal is to try and get Eric on up there and see what we can do.
All right, sir. Well, good luck. I'll say I love the paint scheme tonight. It's looking good. So I look forward to seeing what you can do with it the rest of the way here tonight.
Thanks, Guy. I'll have a good one, man.
All right. So had to go kind of quick because we got to go over our starting grid for tonight. And it's not going to be Gabe on pole position, though. It's going to be Mr. Vicente Guerrero right next to him. That is going to be our pole sitter for tonight's event in that number 14 truck. He hasn't taken the grid yet. Then you got Raymond Rittenauer there in third, behind Gabe Butler. Then Patrick Groover. I'll say got St. Patrick's Day. You got a Patrick in the field in fourth. Eric Laurie, Kevin Hash, Seth Groover, Mike Grimkus, Brian Anderson, and Todd Merkel are top 10. I think Brian goes by BK Anderson, just for those that may be unfamiliar. Ambrose Nabel and Corey Buskirk, 11th and 12th position. We'll continue down our starting grid. Then you've got Jason Bogart, Nick Wing, Jeremy Osborne, Cody Nagels. Matt Wagner's not starting 17th. He just wanted to have some practice laps because we know he needs some practice. Then you got Jack Walls, Jim Brooks, Richard Sanchez, Bob Fitzgerald, Bud Steele, Frank Ranger Jr., Brandon Briggs in the 24th position. And starting shotgun because he just got in on time. That is the number 05 of Mr. Brian Wang in 25th position. All right, trucks are rolling. I do see one truck also not gridded here, which we'll have to keep an eye on, and that is the 06 of Cody Nagels. Cody's definitely one we usually see up front contending for wins, so not sure if it's having some kind of technical issues or what's going on there, but I'll keep an eye out for that truck to see if it pops in here tonight. But again, like I mentioned, final race of the regular season. I'll get it right here eventually. And so let's say again, 75 laps are scheduled distance. We can, of course, go a little longer if we need to with the green-white checkers. There will be 3 attempts if needed. We did see that come into play. I believe it was last week at iRacing Superspeedway. So we know it can and has happened before. And then, the other parts from here is just, like I said, you'll see some team play, try to help your teammates get in, things of that nature. Looking forward to it here. Looking at some of the new paint schemes tonight. I think I see, who is that there? Is that AB? Yeah, it's a BK Anderson. Love the Sunoco paint scheme there on that number 032 on the inside line there. So glad to see BK back too. Always enjoy having him on track. So good to see him. He'll definitely be one to watch, even if it may not be going for the playoffs. Still to go for a race win for sure.
Hello, Mr.
Hello, Mr. Matt Wagner. You timed it well. Pace car just is heading in. Going to hand it over to Vicente Guerrero and Gabe Butler in the front row. A little concerned because I don't see a Cody Nagels on track, so hopefully all's well with the 06 truck. But looks like he will not be starting at least the initial part in this race. However, I think points-wise, he was in a good spot, probably locked in as we are now underway here. Vicente leading the way there with great pushes from the inside from Rittenauer, though. He's got Patrick Gruber, though, giving a good push to Gabe here as we get things underway. There's Cody. He's rolling on track as we speak. So whatever it was, he's got it up and running in that 06 machine. So hopefully, I say he'll need some help here. Obviously, you never want a yellow, but at the same time, he's going to need one to get into the thick of things. But early move there, though, Matt. Vicente jumping to the top side, getting in front of Gabe Butler, wanting to get that push. Instead of staying down on the bottom in front of Raymond there.
Yeah, I've been noticing, let's see, 5 truck of Richard Sanchez is dropping back pretty bad. I have no idea what's going on with
I
that
wonder
truck.
if
It's
Rick might be going back to pick up. I wonder if Rick's dropping back to pick up Cody.
I don't know.
Well, I'll say we do some quick Discord spying, and no, he's not in the Discord chat with them. So, but that's I mean, that's really the only thing I can see. The truck looks okay. Don't see any damage or anything. So I mean, as I, it's a good-looking truck too. He's added some friends to it, but we'll keep an eye and see if he does keep dropping back to Cody. Because right now it does seem like, well, like so I'll watch his lap time compared to Cody's, but I think that might be what we're seeing here. However, up front though, Ray Rittenauer though, he's got the lead here. He's got Eric Laurie as his pusher, and yeah, the Irish Spaniard is indeed running behind there. But at the line though, it's going to be Vicente getting that lap led here to start lap number 3. Got another one dropping off the draft here, Matt, and that's now the 17 of Frank Ranger. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the last truck in the draft is just, if that's the issue, or it's getting really easy to be dropped or something. So we'll have to keep an eye and see kind of what's going on there. But up front though, now Gabe's going to try to get the top spot here. He's got good help from Mr. Kevin Hash, and again, gotta say it's good to see Mr. Hash back out on track too. I was saying always this. He's always got something fun on those trucks. I'd say right now rocking the stripper glitter machine there in that 03 Silverado. So yeah, so Matt, I was talking to some drivers, getting some fuel numbers. I'm not certain we can pull off a 3-stopper here tonight. If they go full send here, I was hearing drivers talk about 17, 18 laps. That's not going to be enough. That's going to be short. That's about 72 laps doing my bad math.
Your bad math is probably right. They will not make it on 3 stops.
Yep, got the 14. He's going to drop. He got his lap led. He's going to drop back here.
So I had to, luckily for me, I can scurry around the Discord and kind of nab information. And Rick is actually going to drop back for Cody. So,
and I'm wondering, do you think we'll see the same out of Vicente, or is Vicente just going to stay in the back? So we know Vicente and Cody are teammates. They work extremely well together. I doesn't look like we'll see Vicente drop all the way back.
No.
But the thing that this does do, though, is this actually will kind of potentially become a bit of a lifeline, if you will, as well, for the 17 of Frank Ranger, because at some point when they get to him, as Frank's stuck running solo, that's just going to help them even more. But yeah, so it's some really nice kind of, I would say teamwork, but I don't think they're formally in the same team. But yeah, you can see, I mean, Rick is rolling way out of it. He ran a minute last time by to Cody's 55 rolling as well. So that's the speed difference. But up front, we're going to jump back though, Matt, because we've got some Dyson going on. This is Talladega. You got plenty of room to wiggle around here, and they're making quick use of it. Look at that outside line. You got the 28 Nick Wing. He's got help from Brian Wang. I think I made a crack last week on Sunday when you and Boomer were calling the shots of who's going to finish better, Wing or Wang. And right now you've got the Wang pushing the Wing. So, and they are working their way to the front.
Very funny, Gaio.
I have my moments. Don't forget to tip your servers. And I
Don't get me
can
started.
confirm Rick and Cody, oh, we got trouble up front though. So far, everybody's staying pointed straight now. Oh, Bob Fitzgerald, he gets hooked. That caution will now come out. We'll go back. We'll see how it all started. But unfortunately, Bob was just wrong place, wrong time. He gets probably almost the worst of it. None of his own doing. But that's going to bring out our first yellow here of the night. That's exactly what these two drivers here wanted to see. Well, maybe not want to see, but needed to see. Also Frank Ranger here as well. So let's go back though, Matt, because that was an odd one.
You have bit the commentator's curse.
Oh no, is the Wing and the Wang?
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah, you can already see the action happening. Let's go back a little further, and we will look off the back of Mr. Nick Wing, because that's about where it occurred. And we'll watch as they come out of turn 2. Nick drifts just a little bit higher off, and I think Brian just maybe got into just a little off centered. And you see it collects to 03, collects to 88. And it looks like maybe Eric Laurie a little bit as well. And then it looks like, oh, who's that hiding back in there? Oh, it's Ray Rittenauer. That's right. We saw him too. And then it looks like it's going to be okay. And then everybody's trying to catch a truck, and then the 28 and the 03 just, again, they're just trying to catch these things. They find each other, and then poor Bob Fitzgerald just gets completely left hooked there.
Oh, man.
But honestly, for Bob,
that car's crabbing.
Oh, Bob's is?
Bob's just crabbing.
I was going to say, it looks like it could be not too worse for wear. We'll jump back live and take a look at that 08 here. Where is Bob? Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of... Here, we'll take a look here. Yeah, look, he's got that thing 90 degrees to the left to keep it pointed straight. So that's the exact opposite of what Bob was hoping to have here. So you see everybody's trying to get themselves situated here to get onto pit road. Bud Steele looks like will be the... Oh, yeah, Bud Steele's going strategy here. Jack Walls as well. They're going to drive right through because this is the one track you can do it at, Matt. You can drive through the pits. Oh, well, Bud's got to not do that because now he's going to get an unsafe pit exit here, and he's going to have to go to the back of the line here, I believe. So we'll have to keep an eye on him there. Jack Walls also did the drive-through, and I believe Brandon Briggs possibly as well. These guys are all going to top off on that one to go. Those that did pit, first one out, though, is that 032, the Sunoco truck of BK Anderson. And then we got to watch the damage repairs. So I'm watching right now. Brian Wing just started rolling off now, about 36 seconds worth of damage. Gabe still sitting on pit road getting his repaired. Raymond Rittenauer, Kevin Hash, Nick Wing as well, and then Bob Fitzgerald, all the ones we just talked about. And I like the gamble from Bob here, Matt, because, again, you don't know. He said it was crabbing, but he really wasn't the worst hit that I've seen. So we'll have to keep an eye on Bob, and hopefully that truck's going to be all right. Like I said, just bad luck, though, on that one.
Yeah, I generally, I feel Bob's pain. I really do. Getting wrecked is not fun. You know this for a fact.
Oh yeah, no, especially when you feel like you're like, okay, all right, I see it, I'm got it cleared, and then they just find their way to you. The other thing to mention, like I talked about for Bud Steele, this is gonna be a little tricky for Bud. I'd say we'll have to see. The admins are probably gonna have to intervene on this one potentially, because what's gonna happen is by the time he gets the pit road entry, some of these guys are gonna start leaving pit road. Like right now, I see Ray Rittenauer leaving pit road. I see Nick Wing leaving pit road. So the problem is it's going to tell him to stay behind those guys too, which is going to give him that pit penalty. So he's going to pretty much have to wait the full lap here potentially due to the way he exited the pit road. That's, however, the other ones we talked about, though, Jack Walls, Brandon Briggs, they are back on pit road to top off. I mentioned BK Anderson. He said, no, I'm going to come back in too. So he's actually going to get another splash of fuel. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, this will be for the admins to deal with. But like I said, I mean, Bud's going to enter pit road, but I'm guessing it's going to have wanted him to be behind these guys right here, Ray Rittenauer, Nick Wing, Kevin Hash. Unfortunately, though, Bob Fitzgerald's still sitting on pit road. So that, to me, says probably, like I said, didn't use the fast repair, but I think also most likely a meatball repair, where that's basically required repairs versus just optional. So, unfortunately for Bob, he's going to have to wait a little longer here. Hopefully, he can at least get rolling here before we get back to green. Because, again, Bob was on the outside just looking in. So, yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that. But for those that did not top off, Matt, it's going to be Mike Rimkus, Patrick Groover, going to be the front row here.
So, for Bud Steele, I've had this happen to me. And very first race, my very first Larry Night race. So I think, if I remember correctly, if you get an unsafe exit under caution, I think it's a drop to the end. I think that's what he's doing now, waiting on the other vehicles to catch up.
Yeah, but the thing is, he then had to pit the second time around, so I feel like then he had that's where he might have risked the passing under yellow. So we'll have to wait and see. I can tell you, though, Bob Fitzgerald has just now started rolling off of pit road. Let's take a look at the steering wheel, and it's still a little bit cranked off to the left. We'll compare that here with Mike Rimkus, and he's in the turn, and he's got the wheel turned the same, so probably not still quite where Bob wants it, but he's going to have to try to hustle up here and try to catch the field because now he wants to make sure he can hold on to this draft as he's the only truck one lap down. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll adjust our timing and scoring here over on the left-hand side as well. And I think, yeah, I don't think Bob's going to get there in time, unfortunately.
No.
So he's going to unfortunately be kind of hurting a little bit more. He's still the only truck one lap down. So again, he's going to have to hope for, unfortunately, for some bad luck. But we're back to green here, Matt. Mike Rimkus leading the way. And you got the Groover brothers. They're locked on, and they are ready, and they are gone. That is going to be Patrick leading Seth. And they won't both clear into turn number 1 here. But if they can stay hooked up like they are here out of turn 2, I would expect to see these two take the point. That said, though, I gotta say that outside or the inside line, sorry, the 79 Mike Rimkus getting a great pushing help. But look at this, though; they're actually gonna get split in the middle by the Blind Squirrel team. That's gonna be Ambrose Nabel there on the middle, or sorry, in the front there. The 998 there as well. Corey Buskirk. Oh man, these guys are getting squeezing each other already. We're gonna go 4 wide. Why not? Through the tri-oval. That's BK Anderson thinking about it. I think he's gonna have to duck. There he goes. He ducks back in. But man, we got a lot of wiggling going on here. We're squeezing, and oh, we got trouble. Mike Rimkus is down in the grass. He's gonna come right into the path of Jim Brooks. Gabe Butler now caught up in a second incident. Caution back out on the track, and yeah, it just looked real aggressive, and it was, and they're starting to get a little wiggly. 51 trucks definitely got some damage to the front end of it. And at a plate race, that's the last place you want to have it. Gabe's probably got a little bit more now to deal with too. Plus side for Bob though is he wasn't in it, and he's the only truck one down. That should have given him back on the lead lap here. With that, I say you never want bad luck, but sometimes you need the help for it. So let's go back though and check one more time at this. So we're gonna focus on Mike Rimkus here because obviously we saw him go down to the apron. But again, that wasn't due to that wasn't his own doing, I believe. I believe there was some contact there. So you see the 04 Matt, you see the 998 here roll in the middle, and then they kind of get squeezed right there. The 32 and the 998 touch, they start to kind of just, even right in front of the 54 and the 04, they're starting to bounce off of each other. And then that sends the 998 into Mike Rimkus. Nothing Mike can do at this point. And then from here, everybody ahead is just trying to survive. And then now it's just where's the 79 going to kind of come back up onto track, and just unfortunately you see the 18, he's able to jump top. Jim Brooks nowhere to go, just right into the side. Same thing for Gabe Butler. Gabe goes right through him pretty much there as well, almost sends him up and over even. And so yeah, so unfortunately a few more trucks involved in this one. So early second caution here, only on lap 12 of 75. We'll jump back live here. And we'll see. I'm pretty sure, Matt, we'll probably see the field all hit pit road. We should see Bob Fitzgerald just wave right on by to get his lap back. So here comes the 54. He's going to come in. Yeah, looks like going to bring the field on in. We'll just verify here to make sure that Bob is going to be the wave around truck on this one. Also looks like maybe a little bit of right front damage, if I'm seeing that right as well, for the 28 of Nick Wing. Just noticed that as well. Looks like a little bit of the fender pushed in there. So, but yeah, so Bob is staying out. We should see him wave right by the pace truck as we speak. And it looks like the 10 truck, Jason Bogart, decided to stay out, get that lap lead, and then come in the second time around. So that is indeed what's happened. So we'll step away for a moment, and we'll come back here on the one to go. So stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
right, as you can see, the lights are off of the pace truck. And yeah, some lengthy pit stops here, Matt. Seth was on pit road for just over a minute in the 32 truck. We had about a minute and a half for Kevin Hash, a minute and a half for Mike Rimkus. And then, like I said, though, great break for Bob Fitzgerald. He's back on the lead lap. He's hustling back up to the pace truck now. And then also is a lengthier stop for Brendan Briggs. He's rolling back up there now as well. So basically what we have is everybody's back on the lead lap. All 24 drivers back lead lap. But probably a handful of without fast repairs anymore. I feel like Jim Brooks, based on the hit he took and the shape that truck's in and the length of that pit stop, pretty sure that's a fast repair there. Not certain for Gabe Butler. That truck still... No, it's got some scuffs on it, so still fast repair available for Gabe in the 88, but definitely a fast repair taken for that 51. And then we'll have to kind of wait and see how Bob's doing. Maybe he decided to use the fast repair there or not. So we're going to rack them up here, Matt. Do it again. We're going to restart this thing at lap 15. So it'll be 61 to go here at the line. So fuel, I think fuel's going to change a little bit now at this point. I know we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. You see everybody starting to kind of get themselves settled back in here. You see a lot of single file midway back there. A lot of drivers topping off as we are back underway. Patrick Gruber leading the way in that number 54. He's going to just sneak ahead of Todd Merkel there as they get back to the green. Everybody's starting to jockey for position, and man, Patrick wants to lead all the lines right now. He's going to now jump in front of that 5 of Richard Sanchez. I don't think Richard's led a lap yet, but I would just give it a little bit of time. And remember that guy that started from the pits? Cody's now up into the top 10, working on the top 5, pushing that 22 of Todd Merkel towards the front.
I am having your favorite, though. Twisted Tea.
This isn't the time for that, man. Gabe's going to have a chat with you post-race.
That's okay.
But up front, though, now we got the 5 still locked onto the 54. Good pushing by those two. You got a couple blind squirrels behind them with the 998 Corey Buskirk, 41 Jeremy Osborne. There they go. They saw the momentum. They jumped to the middle lane here. They've got help from Cody for the moment. We'll see how that stays going there. We just talked about Bud Steele having what he had to do earlier. Now he's back into the mix here, right in that top 5, top 6 position. And then Todd Merkel, we mentioned right there as well, sitting in 7th. So right now that outside line's looking good here. Corey might just be able to clear. Nope, can't quite do it yet. They're going to stay side by side here in ring 3. And that's because of some great pushing from that inside lane. And we do have the field for the most part back to there. We do have, looks like 3 trucks kind of off on their own here. That's going to be Bob Fitzgerald, Brendan Briggs, and Nick Wing. Again, some of these guys might still be hurting a little bit with some lingering damage. So, again, that could be them being in a safe spot, though, too. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But, yeah, so right now we've just crossed lap 1775 at the line. I believe Corey had the lead at the line. It's a bonus point for him. Oh, close there between the 6 and the 41 there. You could see for just a moment Cody thought about sneaking underneath. Oh, here comes the 3rd lane with a lot of wiggling. And it's going to be the 06 going to try to lead that one. That's going to be Cody trying to get that push from the 32 of Seth Gruber.
Damn, all these guys been drinking?
They're aggressive right now and saying, and
Yeah,
look at all this.
I'm saying.
And
There's a lot of green out there, too.
A lot of green, a lot of aggressive green. But the thing is, what I noticed too is it's still early in the race, and these guys are still squeezing each other as if it's getting towards the end, where you'll see three lanes of trucks, and there's still a full groove to the outside of these guys, so they're not giving each other a ton of room. As you got Seth now able to hop in front of Patrick there. I do see a little bit of door damage, I feel like, on that driver's side of the 32. Just the way the number is, oh my goodness, it's skewed. It looked like maybe just a little bit of a damage to that door, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Looks like it's going all right, though. As you got Bud Steele, though, he's going to try to get that green machine up to the front. I see the Quigleys on the hood inside, but I say I gotta see Quigley's what? I'm guessing it's going to be like maybe a bar. What are we thinking here, Matt?
What am I thinking?
Quigley's Pub. There we go. Got a good view of it here. as he's going to try to lead this lap, but it's going to go to, I believe, Patrick Groover there at the line, as we've got a route on for the number 10 truck of Jason Bogart. Jason's playing it smart, I think, right now. He's got a nice little safe spot as all Bud Steele and the 5 make a little bit of contact.
Nope, there's no room down there, buddy.
Oh my goodness. These guys are, again, just like you said,
Maybe-
Matt, we're
yeah,
not even
maybe-
lap 20 yet. I mean, we're going for it, but BK Anderson, he's found his way to the point. And I say now you got Gabe Butler, though, Mr. Guinness himself, if you will, trying to work. But oh, look at the 32. He's going to squeeze the middle. It's going to force Eric Laurie to the top. Gabe's going to cover the middle there and get that push here, see if he can get a lap lead. Man, these guys are going after it, man. We're not even a third of the way through.
I think they just kicked out the red truck just because it's not green. Maybe.
There could be
Don't
some
know.
there could be some color bullying going on. You might be right here, but so Gabe does lead the lap, gets the bonus point again. He's good to go. He's locked in. There's no question for the championship. Again, there's definitely some bragging rights as well, though, of course, for who wants to be the regular season champion. I think between himself, Seth Gruber, and Cody Nagels. And yeah, like you're about to say, here comes that 32.
There's Gruber, there's Yoshi and Mario on the outside.
Yeah, let's hop on board with Mario here. Let's hop on the roof of that truck. And nope, they decided, nope, not enough yet. Let's drop back down here.
Mama Gruber, get on him.
Ah, they got time. I said, oh man. Big catch there for that 06 there of Cody Nagels right behind BK Anderson, I believe it was. Or yeah, BK Anderson. And oh man, these guys are going at it. Brian Wing, though, he's going to take the point. You see the 28 Nick Wing. He did pit. I think he decided, you know what, I got to take the fast pair. So he's down a lap. Yep, I see smoke. I see Seth Gruber. But we stay green. Oh, that 32 truck is hurt, though. Let's take another look to see what happened to Seth here. So we're going to focus on Seth just as we were watching the 28. Oh, that is a very interesting net code. Watch, we're going to run it one more time, slow-mo. Watch how the 32, oh man, it's like something just came to a stop. He gets a big hit from his brother, nothing they could do. Unfortunately, they both wind up using the outside wall. It keeps them both pointed forward. But, yeah, that's... And they're both hitting pit road now. Both, I'm sure, fast repairs being done to the two of these trucks. That is a very, very strange netcode type incident situation there where they were behind the 14 of Vicente. They weren't that close to him, but then just the way the truck kind of... It bounced the truck as if he hit something, and... I mean, that's just plain bad luck, unfortunately. And what that did, though, is that really kind of spaced out the field right now. They're starting to get themselves back together. We still have the top 15 here all going to be back bunched up. But then you've got about 2 seconds back to Jack Walls. Jim Brooks is just trying to push him for all he's worth to get themselves back into that mix. The ones that got the worst of it, though, are right here, Ambrose Nabel and Frank Ranger Jr., and then we talked about these two a little further back here earlier on, the 08 and the 18. So, however, the Gruber brothers able to stay in front of the leaders, so they still are on the tail end of the lead lap here, Matt. They pitted at lap 21 compared to 13. And, yeah, this is an odd one. I'll say just kind of weird the way this... I said maybe the server may have been drinking a little bit tonight as well. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that, but... It looks like I'm watching lap timing. So, yeah, so from the leader, Brian Wing, to Jeremy Osborne, they're good. They're back into the mix. They've caught the draft. Unfortunately, Jack Walls, Jim Brooks, they were about half a second slower than leaders with just the two of them. So they're going to need some help to get back into the thick of this thing. And unfortunately, the Gruber brothers here, they're going to have to probably try to be aggressive as well, because the problem is only one of them can be the wave around truck or the lucky dog. Whereas if they could either stay in the lead or have one of them being in front of the leader, then one could get it and then the other could get the wave around. So but you can see, though, they're going to hold the bottom, which I think is the right call here. And then you've got Brian, Gabe, BK, and company. They're going to go around the outside of those two. Then they'll be able to grab the draft back.
Yeah, in that kind of situation, since everybody's single file, yeah, I would stay on the bottom. That's pretty much. I'm pretty much got. They pretty much got like screwed by the netcode. That is. I haven't seen it since they updated the damage model for these trucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a build or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's been a long time, and of course you remember the time where Richard Sanchez's truck like blasted forward, like someone hit it with the red turtle shell, like something like that. But that's just so unfortunate. I feel for him.
I'm gonna say mom is smart though. She's right though. At least it's early, so there's still some time to recover because we just crossed lap 26, so we're now officially just 1/3 of the way through. And again, I think we still probably have likely 3 pit stops to the end, Matt. A lot of these guys pitted at lap 12 and 13, so that's gonna get them to, I don't know, what's that gonna get us to? Probably about lap maybe 30 or so, most likely 30-31 probably. So. Probably about 5 laps away from pit stop cycle as well, so that can always make or break things. And I'll say right now, Bud Steele's got a bumper full of groovers right now, trying to push that Quigley's Pub to the front. And again, this is in their benefit if they can get him to the front and then try to get themselves in front of him, where maybe one could be the tail end of the lead lap, the other be the wave around truck. That's in their best interest here. So Bud's able to clear. He gets to the bottom. And so he's going to now hop in front of BK Anderson as our race leader. And so you've basically got a bottom lane train here waiting to make that pit stop window open, whereas you get the Groover brothers here trying to get their laps back. And now it's just kind of how aggressive does BK get to Bud, knowing that those two on the outside, that's not for a position. Those are 2 lap trucks here just trying to keep their track position. So at the same time, though, Seth in the 32, Matt, he's got to try to keep that engine cool and not get too hot pushing his brother.
If you're sitting in the Groover Brothers, you're in the same place, but what's your mindset?
I think
do you pit with these guys, even though they have to take less fuel?
No,
and they will be out in front of everybody here.
No,
or do you stay out?
I think you stay out because the thing is, as spread as the field is, I think you stay out because you might be able to cycle in with some more trucks that haven't that kind of lost the main pack, like a Jim Brooks, Jack Walls, for instance. Maybe you can kind of, once they pit, you can kind of tag on to them. And then that 2-truck draft turns into a 4-truck draft. Oof, man, they are so close to each other though right now. I don't think they should pit with the leaders because then they're just going to be in that same situation where even if they get ahead of them, the momentum is just going to be a Bud Steele, BK Anderson, Vicente, Cody. It's going to bring them right back in front of them once the momentum shift happens. So they pit also. I mean, we don't know the fuel mileage 100%. I mean, right now they pit on lap 21. Kind of if we maybe do some math calculating backwards on the fuel mileage, Matt, there's maybe some slight potential that they're still in the same window, just off sequence than the rest of the field, almost as if they do a short pit, if you will.
I know the guys pitted what, 5 laps before that, and after that happened. Lap 21.
There's a
lap
chance
26.
of this that could work, Matt, because I just did the numbers. They pitted at lap 21, so basically they pitted with 54 laps to go, and if they can run 18 laps 3 times, that's going to get them to lap 75. So, if my bad math is accurate, there is a chance.
You have someone pitting though.
Yes, you do. Oh, it's Mike Rimkus, but he's by himself. That's never what you want to have happen.
No,
if you
not
can.
at all.
So hopefully for Mike here, hopefully it's an aggressive entry and exit, that way he can get back into a draft pack. But right now, though, say everybody's pretty content here. But I think pit road, again, that was coming to 30 there, so that was the 17 laps. I think these guys are making that 18 lap happen right now. So I think we might see a busy pit road entry this time, if not next time. So we'll keep an eye on these top running trucks here and see, because it's going to be probably the whole field here that hits pit road. Nope. One more time up. I see one jumping off. That's Kevin
Yep.
Hash. And another just solo truck here. And unfortunately, Mike Rimkus, whatever for him, it's a long pit stop. Not sure if a pit penalty or not, but he's already up to 30 seconds on pit road. But yeah, also Kevin Hash now solo pit entry, which surprises me because he's got teammates in with the boot knockers. So I'm a little surprised to see that there. But yeah, right now the Gruber's still just trying to basically just stay towards the front of this pack here. The other driver that can go a little further than these guys is Nick Wing, who pitted at 17. But I think in this situation, I think for Nick, his best bet may be to pit with the leaders, take that little bit of fuel or a little bit less fuel that he'll be able to do, and then kind of like I said, get out towards the front half of the pack. So we'll have to watch the 28, and yep, here they come.
Yep. You're right. About half the field.
Now everybody's got to get down in time. Oh man, I got nervous for a second. I saw a big entry by Richard Sanchez, but he's able to woe down. But now up front though, Brian Wang, he's going to go an extra lap along with Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie, and Ray Rittenauer. The other driver we're talking about, Nick Wing, he's got to hustle here. He's got to try to pedal that thing, get back to Ray here, which I think he'll get there before the pit stop. So this will be interesting to see. This will be your kind of answer your question, I feel like, Matt. Do we see the Groovers now pit with the boot knockers here, or do they? This will kind of tell us the tale, like, okay, yeah, they're definitely just going to run their own thing here. So we'll have to keep an eye on those guys. Also need to mention Corey Buskirk, Jeremy Osborne had pitted, Jim Brooks, Jack Walls on pit road as well. And
here come the other guys.
Here comes the second group. Gruber Brothers stay out, and that is going to complete our leaders pit cycle. These guys are getting squirrely there. And there is Nick Wing kind of doing what we said here. He should need less fuel, so this should help him be able to close up the gap to those guys in front of him. And then for the race off of pit road, right now it is still Vicente Guerrero leading that pack with Richard Sanchez, BK Anderson, and Cody Nagels. So now let's go. So I want to see where Patrick and Seth cycle around.
They do have two trucks behind them, though.
They've actually jumped Jim Brooks and Jack Walls.
Okay.
So not quite to plan there. 05 of Brian Wing, he's already gone and out of pit road. And he had a great stop because look at the gap he's got to Gabe Butler and company. So Eric Laurie, also not the greatest stop for him. He actually was a little longer, 10.9 seconds on pit road. So maybe had to throw it in reverse a little bit. But this could work out for Nick Wing. I think he's just going to be able to hopefully tag onto the back of these guys. But right now what's happening, though, is this pack right here being led by Vicente and company. They're going to try to
blow by Brian.
Oh, yeah,
Wang
Brian's going to feel lonely right now. But these four trucks, though, they're going to try to break away from the draft here. If they can, they're just going to draft as hard as they can with each other, see if they can kind of break away into that 1.5 or so second mark. They've already got about 0.8 of a second on Brian, now up to 9 and just about a second. So this is where you got to have your friends and your partners here. So you see the 22, he's locked onto the back of Frank Ranger Jr. on the outside line. They're going to need to get themselves organized. Brian's got it led now here with Bud Steele as his pusher, but it's about about 1 second on the dot from Brian to Cody. That gap's about to shrink back, so they should be good to go here. It looks like Eric Laurie is going to be able to shove the 28 here and get Nick Wing back into this mix as well. Nick's got to get by Frank Ranger Jr. He's actually going to drop down there. The momentum was so big, I got to go low now. I think they'll be able to pull back up onto these guys too, because this is going to be the lucky dog battle in just a moment, which I think right now Nick Wing is the first truck one down, but that's going to change soon because leaders are about to catch these three trucks here. Ambrose Nabel, Brandon Briggs, and Bob Fitzgerald, and those three are all on the same lap. And then, yeah, like you said, though, unfortunately the Groovers are solo. Now they're going to jump on the pit road, though. And again, I think this is about right for the timing because this is coming to 40 to go, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's going to be that's not enough, though. That's going to be have to split these last ones in 20. So I think they're also still short on fuel, though, for my potential strategy idea. I think they've just been pushing. I think they're pushing so hard they were just burning so much fuel. Yeah. But what we do have, those actually, I was wrong, Matt. Eric Laurie and them were not able to get back up there. So, unfortunately, Eric Laurie is going to be the first one out in that 10th spot of this main pack. So we got 9 trucks together. I'll be curious to see if we see any maybe teamwork here from the Boot Knockers. Do we see Ray and Gabe and company? As there goes the Groovers there, they just get passed right there by the leaders as they roll out of pit road. This could, if they can get hooked up here, it looks like they're going to cycle around probably right there. You have the 22 truck and then maybe the 17. If they can get hooked up to Todd here or Todd hook up to them and they can shove themselves up to Eric and company, that could then pull Eric as well. Actually, you know what? That they're already going back the right direction. I've just watched the ticker, and it was a 50.01 for Jason Bogart, which was actually the quickest truck on track last time by. But I think he's fallen off the back a little bit. Kind of give a little extra sniff of draft to Eric here and to Nick.
My goodness, have the tables have turned.
Yeah, a lot has happened over this pit stop cycle. So now Todd Merkel, he's been able to grab. Well, actually, no, he hasn't been able to grab back onto the Groovers yet. And so now these two, they now need to catch Nick Wing because that's the next Lucky Dog position. Because as it sits, Nick right now is that Lucky Dog truck where he is currently running. And again, they're about to catch a stack of trucks here with that 04, 08, and the 18. So yeah, so it's going to get dicey here pretty soon. So there they go. And here comes the leaders. And yet Eric Lorian's back. He got back to him. So great job by he in the 28.
Yeah, right now, if I was sitting in a Groover Brothers seat, I would probably back the truck up with just a little bit because that all-important third truck is really important if you want to try and catch us back. 5 miles per hour can say it's not a whole lot, but it makes a big difference.
No, the third truck is very crucial. And so a lot of times you focus on just the front two trucks. So it's like, okay, yeah, they lock on, they push. Eventually the one gets hot, and you got to kind of breathe them a little bit. But the thing is, I mean, I'm watching BK Anderson right now, and I mean, we'll hop on board here. What he's doing right now is exactly what you want to do as the third truck. You pretty much want to stay as tight as you can to that second truck, but ideally not bump him. You never want to kind of push the pushers, kind of usually the general rule of thumb in super speedway racing, because usually that's where you kind of get those accordion effects. And so now, though, they got to make sure all these lap trucks are going to all do the same thing to go to the top. Bob now goes to the top, so they're able to have that clean path down there. But yeah, so a lot of times, though, you do have to be extremely careful as the third truck. You want to be tight to the bumper, but not pushing on the 5 truck in this case. But as I say that, look at Brian here. I think he is hooked on to Gabe, who is hooked on to Cody, as we just crossed the halfway point that last time by. And Cody's just got a nose ahead of his teammate here, as we've got a top 4 green machine here. I'm going to say, so these guys are definitely repping the holiday well here. And Bud Steele's right back in the mix as well. And that, oh man, big move there by Cody in front of his teammate. But they have separated themselves once more, though, Matt, because look at Jason Bogart. They're there, but then right behind those guys like Nick Wing and company, not Nick Wing, Brandon Briggs and company, they couldn't quite hang on to that draft, unfortunately. And then it looks like the Groovers have fallen back to that bigger pack. It has brought Todd Merkel. So this will be about the time here in the next lap or two. I'll be watching the lap times, and I think crucially we'll be watching the Groovers to Cody and company here, because like I said, because Nick Wing is the one that we want to watch, because that's the Lucky Dog battle at the moment. But right now, I mean, they've got about 9 seconds. So I mean, right now leaders are through the tribal, just about to start finish line. The Groovers just now came out of turn number 4. So I mean, they're about the full tribal basically away from our race leaders. So and right now the lap times are looking very, very strong up front. 50-54 for Cody. And now the Groovers just crossed, and it was a 51-10, so about half a second slower. They just, I don't think they've got themselves quite as established. I mean, again, look at the front 3 trucks on each lane here, Matt. Look how tightly knit they are. Oh man, that was close to the Sente and Gabe there. But there's very, very little space in between each of these trucks. So that's what I look for how quick that draft is. Like I said, that third truck, is crucial to kind of help the momentum again without, for me at least in my mind, without bumping. But yeah, the tighter you can stay together, it's just going to help that lane even more.
All right, so what I've learned in super speed racing, I actually had to get into a league to learn this. What Cody is doing is staying right in front of the front truck. You see him swapping all the way down to the bottom truck. So basically, these guys are getting max pull, both these lines. He's preventing the 5 truck from overheating from pushing the 14. And now when he slides up in front of the 88, now he's preventing the 05 burning up, staying behind, pushing the 88. So you'll see that go on and on through the laps. You'll see that constantly. And that's how you see these 50.5s and 4s. And right now Gabe just ran a 50.5. And like it's just genius. I mean, it's a good idea. Like he'll go up here right off the exit of turn number 3. I expect Cody to do that. I guess he did not, but like I said,
that's what we've been seeing though. Yeah, if he gets a good exit, he'll jump out in front, and then and yeah, you're not wrong, Matt, because like you said, at some point Vicente's gonna be like, hey man, I'm roasting here, and so Cody's like, okay, let me do you solid, I'll jump up. But at the same time though, Cody's got to make sure he times it at the right spot. As actually this time though, Vicente is able to clear, and again, but they do it when it's really close because Gabe can then immediately hook on it and start pushing. Versus a situation where you jump up and you're, let's say, 2-3 car lengths ahead, then that truck's going to build a lot of momentum on you. Oh, man. And then they just want to wind up just, I got too much momentum, push you. I'm just going to go right around you. So that's why you sometimes see these moves happen so tight on each other's quarters.
Yeah. Like I said, right now, if I was the 6, I'd be really scared to push the 14 after I saw what happened early in the race. Right now, I know they're teammates and all, but I'd be really scared now.
But you wonder too. Like, I mean, was it actually a Vicente situation, or was it just coincidence that it was Vicente in front of the Groovers where it happened? Because it could have been just some complete other situation. So, yeah. But you're right though. I mean, when you see it though, yeah, it definitely is going to make you kind of a little bit more gun shy, if you will. But at the same time, like I said, I mean, Cody and Vince, I mean, they've raced with each other for so long. And, like, there were times where, I mean, I think we even chatted with Cody at one point where he's like, I didn't need to be in the same channel as him. I knew what he was going to do. And we were already on the same page without even being in the same Discord talking about it. So, yeah, these guys, they know what they're doing. They're really good at it. And Matt, looking at laps right now, we're on 45 of 75. They last pitted at 31. So to me, that means probably, again, pit stops, I'd say roughly around lap 50, maybe 51 for a few of these guys, maybe 52. So probably 5 to 7 laps away from pit stops, which I believe at that point can get everybody to the end. Well, actually, no, I think there might still be a splash to go at the end. I'm trying to look at the numbers here because we're 30 to go. So they need to get down to... Yeah, I think there's still one more pit stop after this next one scheduled.
Yeah, it is.
But it'll be a short pit stop, and that could really open up your strategies of how early or late do you want to pit. So that'll be the next thing to watch for. As leaders are about to come up on Jack Walls and Jim Brooks, put those 2 trucks a lap down. Again, that's going to be a competition now for Nick Wing. Nick's going to want to try to see if he can stay ahead of those 2. As that way he can be the lucky dog truck.
If I was Jim and Jack Walls there, I would have stood on the bottom of the track. So that way you can latch on to those guys.
I think they'll be okay with the 2 of them. You can see they're working pretty well together. And we might even see Bud Steele. Maybe he says, you know what, let me give you guys a little bit of room to slot in here. No, I don't think it's happening. I think they'll be okay, though. I think the pace has actually kind of started to calm down just a little bit now. They just ran a 50.70 last time around. And I mean, now it's a single file train. So I think they'll be able to kind of safely slot in behind Eric Laurie here. And then they'll be good to go. And then the pit stop window, though, they're on the same window. They're at lap 31 as well with all these guys. So basically, once the leaders pit, they'll be having to come in too, if not even maybe possibly a lap sooner, just because of, again, probably burning more fuel with just the 2 of them. Yeah, right now it's a kind of limitless showing the way here in those top 2 spots. And I'll say, once things got kind of settled in here, though, I'll say Jim and Jack, they haven't really fallen too far back, and that's actually not what Nick wants to see, because right now, actually, it's Jim Brooks now sitting in that lucky dog spot because he's ahead of Jack Walls. He's ahead of Nick Wing. So, yeah, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. And
So go ahead. Sorry.
I know as I was just peeking up at the YouTube chat. Ryan, hope everything's going okay for you guys. As I know, obviously we've seen the decals on your cars and trucks, so hope everything's going all well with you and the family and everything. So definitely thinking of you guys. Hopefully nothing too terrible. But yeah, Matt, here they come. Pit road is open, and it looks like about going to be a split strategy here. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Bud Steele and Lieutenant Jason Bogart, but I don't think too worse for wear there. Just a little bit of a little door-to-door contact. And then these guys are all going to jump onto pit road. And that's going to now put the point now to Gabe Butler, as he's got a bunch of his teammates here. You see also Futrix just rolling out of pit road actually there. I saw Kevin Hash's one. And once again, I'm worried about Jim Brooks and Jack Walls. Jack actually completely fell. I wonder if we missed something there during the pit stop cycle, because Jack fell way off the pack. I think Jim's just going to tag onto these guys, but we're going to see them all duck onto pit road. So here they all come. I think we'll see Jim along there with them. Yep, there he goes as well. And he was able to get right to the rear bumper. That's a good pit entry there for the 51. Again, Jack unfortunately loses a little bit of time on them. And then we saw a few trucks there that had just pitted, namely Kevin Hash, who's just rolling out now. So we'll have to wait and see how everything cycles through. So we'll focus on Gabe. Right in unison, all of these looks like left side tires for these guys. Here comes Brian. He's rolling away. And yeah, look at these guys right in lockstep. Great pit stop sequence by all of these trucks here. Gabe's going to win the race off of pit road, but they are all right here together. Nick Wing, Jim Brooks right there along with him as well. But here come those that already pitted. They may have done a little better here, Matt, because look at the momentum already out of the 6, the 32, the 5, and the 14.
Mm-hmm. Good God. There's just the time and the effort these guys put in together real fast. As soon as they come off pit road, I mean, they're like right together.
They make it look easy. They really do. And yeah, sorry to hear that, Ryan. Definitely hope that, I say, glad to hear your son's doing better now. But yeah, hopefully get you guys back home in just a few more days. And yeah, like I said, definitely thinking of you. And by all means, man, at some point, feel free to send me some info, because I mean, we'd love to do what we can to help you and your family out. Any awareness, things like that, or even see if we can get some donations here and there just to help, because I know hospital bills aren't cheap. So let me know, Ryan, thinking of you and Caitlin and your son and your family. So, but yeah, definitely giving you all of our best and all of our love. All right, Matt, we got a little bit of a separation again here. We've got the top 7 together, but then it's another, they got to push once more here. Eric Laurie, Bud Steele, and then Nick Wing, Jim Brooks. They got all, these 4 really got to try to see if they can chase down those guys in front. Right now, the tail truck being Raymond Rittenauer. Eric's about 1.2 seconds, and it's starting to go again. It's starting to go the right direction. So I think Bud is doing a great job of pushing that 071 to get themselves back into the game here. We're down to 24 to go. Again, pit window we think is 17 roughly. So that could really open up some strategy of when you want to make your final pit stop here. So that's, of course, all pending things going green. The next thing to check is going to be, I want to see where the running order is, because right now, obviously, Bud Steele, not the last truck on the lead lap. Unfortunately, Jason Bogart, he has lost the draft, and he's unfortunately just kind of off in his own right now. But he's got some help coming in a little bit here from these pack of trucks right here. Kevin Hash, Jeremy Osborne, Todd Merkel right there as well. So all these guys working together. The Gruber brothers, they're back onto pit road here, coming to 24 to 23 to go. So cautions just haven't quite panned out for them. And there you go, job done though. Look at Eric Laurie, Bud Steele. They're going to take the momentum straight to the top, see if they can get themselves to the front here. and then the lucky dog battle begins again as well. Right now, Nick Wing has it. I think Jim and Nick are teammates here on Discord, so I'd be curious to see. I think Jim's pretty safely locked in, but of course you want to get the best results you can. But maybe Nick might. Maybe it's better for the team, if you will, to have Nick be in that position. But important question though, Matt. Did you have a pre-race pick for tonight?
Did I have a pre-race pick?
I know we didn't do a pre-race interview, but
Yeah, you kind of did with Gabe Butler.
so I pulled in Gabe Butler pre-race in that 88 truck. I mean, St. Patrick's Day, you got to go with the green 88 Guinness machine.
No, see, you blew it, right? I'm just telling you.
All
The
right.
guys who never really got a shot of getting their moment in the sun. You gotta you gotta
Well,
do that.
I can't, Matt. I can't interview you. You're the broadcaster.
Oh, get out of here! You're such a turd. Anyway, how about a guy we never really get to talk? Haven't seen who won in a while. How about that 071 truck of Eric Lorry?
I would love an Eric Lorry win in that John Deere machine. That would be a really fun one. I mean, also another good story would be BK Anderson. I mean, he's been away from the league for a little bit, so say he's come back as if he hasn't missed a beat there. Brian Wing's always a fun interview as well. But we've chatted with him before too. I don't know. I kind of want to go with somebody who's repping the St. Patrick's Day theme. So I love what Rick's got. He's got this little zoom in on his friend there, on right in front of the Chevy Line logo. But between that and the 5, we've already talked about Bud Steele's great paint scheme with the Quigley's Pub. Gabe, of course, the iconic Guinness paint scheme. So, but then I say we got a few other guys just repping the green. I say we got Cody in the 06 leading right now. I say he's got Extra Life on the side. A great foundation. Obviously, I was brought aware of it thanks to Peter DeBorgia and Josh Cox. Really great foundation for kids, and so yeah, that's a great one to be a part of. And then, like I said, we talked about the 5. Vicente, he's got some green flames on that 14 truck. So I mean, we've got a lot of green in the top 5 or so here in this one.
So who was your pick?
I mean, I went with Gabe off the bat just because of the green Guinness truck.
Oh my God!
How about no?
No, you
Hey,
can't.
Don't give me DMC8 here, Matt.
Oh,
But
you ain't.
we got a Rick Sanchez number 5 Chevy Land vote by Netsby. So I think there's some family bias on that one if I remember right though. But that said though, Rick's been on a tear this season, especially the second half. Like he's found something where either be it luck or whatever it may be, but he's just been really solid this whole second half of the season. Matt, we've kind of found our way into 2 packs now at this point.
Yep.
So we've got the lead pack here, back to about Jim Brooks as well as Frank Granger Jr. Then you go to this next pack being with Kevin Hash and company. As I say, it also includes the Gruber brothers, who are still 1 lap down. And then there's just, unfortunately, the couple outliers here, and that's a couple of those blind squirrels. I'll say that the blind squirrels haven't been able to find anybody to hang out with at this point, at least these 2. That's Corey Buskirk and the number 04 of Amber's Nabel. I think Corey's actually still rocking the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken. So
Corey Busker? Yes, he's 43 seconds behind the leader.
All right, so he's still hanging on to that lead lap, courtesy of the 04 helping him out a bunch. But yeah, I'll say it's
He's about to get swallowed up by the leaders.
yeah, there are probably a few more laps. But all right, Matt. So fuel window's about to open in about 1 to 2 more laps, I'm going to say. You've got a couple teammates together here. You've got the 6, the 32, and the 14. I believe they're all sharing the same Discord. You got the boot knockers going together. What do you do? Do you go early? Do you go long? Do you bank on green, white, checkers? What's your strategy here?
Man, you would like to know my strategy? Yeah, my strategies never work out, but let's see. If you're Cody, BK Anderson, and Vince, they're in the same Discord together. So, if they do pit, how many people will go with them? But
that's if they can if they can pull a fast one and jump in without bringing everybody with them, that's where the problem is. They probably pit the next time around if you do it.
so I would probably wait till you get to these guys' draft right here. These cars they're coming up on, and that's going to pull them probably about half a second. So that's going to be very crucial.
That's a
if
good
they
point.
catch them,
You can
them cars.
Yeah, that's actually a really great point at me, or a great point to me, Matt. Is when they start picking up the draft of those two in front, like you said, it's going to pick up their speed a fair bit, and it's almost like where you start to catch lap traffic and say, you know what, I'm going to pit. I'm in my window. I'm going to pit before I get to that lap traffic. They can do that here in the super speedway racing too. Like you said, hey, I'm going to grab this draft to get a big in lap and then jump in. And that way, then those other guys don't have that benefit of the doubt. So, and especially too, because like you said, sometimes like, again, the Corey, he could choose to stay low. That's going to make that lane go to the outside, slow that pace down just that tiniest of bits too. So, yeah, there's some strategy here and some options that these guys can do. I think if you're in a position like Nick Wing, Jim Brooks, I think you stay out as long as you can in hopes of that yellow, and then also in hopes of kind of just you being with that pack when they pit. So, like I said, they're getting some good draft now. Yep, and here comes the boot knockers. They're right on cue here. They're going to go early, and it's going to be the four of them, and Jim Brooks is going to tag along with them. So it's going to be 5 trucks total. Looks like very clean entry for all 5. So now the question mark is, of course, do we see the reaction right away from these guys? And there goes the blind squirrels. They jump up to the top. They said, you know what? You guys go ahead, take the inside line. Again, try not to affect the race. So big shout out to them for that. And I like the strategy by Jim actually here, Matt, because I think Bud Steele's going to be in a little tough spot here. He hopefully has enough momentum. No, he's not. He's not going to clear.
That's really going to hurt him now.
He's going to have to fall in back behind.
Yeah. If I was Jim, I would have pushed him. That car road film would have helped him.
Because here they come, and now Bud's either going to have to keep going or he's going to have to really send it into pit road, and he's going to send it on in. Hopefully gets it down to speed on time. I think he just did. Also an aggressive entry by Nick Wing. So there's the reaction, though. And now, though, if you're this pack here being led by Kevin Hash, I think you run it long. I think you go as far as you can on fuel, because you're not going to catch them on track with just staying out. So we'll have to wait and see on that one too. So, and it looks like they are indeed staying out here. So now it's going to be all about where everybody cycles through. Here's the 5 that pitted together. Gabe and Brian, Ray, Eric, and Jim. Looks like they've all stayed together. The top 3 a little breakaway from Eric and Jim, but they'll get back up there. So now we got to wait for the next pack here, which is being led by Rick right now. And we'll see. Let's actually jump off the back of that number 5 truck, and you can see them in the distance. I'm going to say advantage here goes to Rick, Cody, and Vicente. I think they've got in and out quick enough that I think they can hold the top spot here. Oh, big. They're pushing so hard. I think Vicente was pushing Cody, and this will actually change momentum shift now right back to Gabe and company. But great save by Cody. And also Bud Steele, he still is able to get in and out and in that main pack. So he had that little hiccup, but he was able to make the most of it. So, oh my goodness. Let's say Cody's not having a good time this last half a lap or so. He's had twice now where he said to chase that truck down to the apron. But he hangs on to it once again. And so Gabe Butler, he does get to the point. Brian Wing's going to stay top, though. Can't quite clear the 5. But right now, these guys are net 5th here as the current leader. Again, they haven't pitted yet, but is that 03 of Kevin Hash, Jeremy Osborne, Jason Bogart, Todd Merkel. Those 4 lead pack drivers have yet to pit. Right now, the Groovers, I believe, as they run, are the tail end of the lead lap. So same thing for them. I think they just want to go as far as they possibly can on fuel. And to me, I think this is the only strategy you can do if you're these guys here. You go along, you never want to hope for a yellow, but you kind of hope for a yellow to then bring you right back into the mix. But right now, though, man, these guys are getting squirrely. Raymond Rittenauer all over the back of Brian Lang here. And it's a top line right now, Matt. Only 3 trucks on the inside. We've got about 6 or so up top. And looking for Jim Brooks. He kind of fell. I think he may have dropped back to possibly pick up Nick Wing, it looks like to me. And yeah, they're going to be hard pressed to catch back up here. We'll see if it does work out for them or not. But I think we're seeing some team play, if you will, from the 51 there with the 28.
Speaking of that, you know that big line of cars we talked about earlier? The leaders are about to catch them. So we're wrecking.
Let's see, got a bunch of trucks on pit road. I think we're good.
Okay.
I think the smoke was pit road. So
Okay.
here comes these guys. So Kevin Hash, Jeremy Osborne, Jason Bogart on pit road. Todd Merkel's going to go a little further. He's got the 83 Pennzoil truck, Jack Walls, with him. Unfortunately, you can see how far they've fallen off the Groover brothers in that whole process. So right now, Todd Merkel being shown as the race leader. Gabe Butler and Brian Wang leading this pack that have finished their pit stops. You see Jim Brooks there, Nick Wing trying to get themselves back into this main draft here as well. Right now, trying to watch. I think they're going to get there. Looks like the ticker's going the right way for them. But yeah, so let's say this field's, like I said, it's continuing to spread out a little further here once more. But again, though, surprised to see so many trucks on the top side at this point. But again, that said, I got to pay attention to the lap counter, though, Matt, because we are 10 to go here. And I believe this time by is going to switch it to 9. Nope, still 10 to go. So I'm a little slow on the draw there. So yeah, 10 more laps already in this one, Matt. Leaders good to go to the end on fuel, but not by a lot. Again, these guys I think are all just banking on trying to make it to the end. As Brian, he's doing that move you talked about. Gabe maybe getting hot. He jumps in front of Raymond. They're trying to work both lanes there, but Todd Merkel still trying to stretch his fuel mileage here. Again, probably banking on a yellow here. He cannot make it to the end. He last pitted at lap 48, but he's just going to go as far as he can, and that's as far as he could go right there. He's going to jump down onto pit road. The Groover brothers, they continue to stay out. Jack Wall's going to stay out as well. They want a yellow and it not to be them. Yeah.
Yes, bad. I'm trying to see where they
Jim
are.
and Nick are back in the draft here.
They're not far from getting lap.
No, they're not too far. So right now, Jim is the first truck a lap down as they run. Nick Wing, the second truck down a lap. They're about to catch Jack Walls, which will put Jack down a lap. So yeah, here they come. This is the train we're just talking about. So now we look at teamwork and teammates and so on. So we know the 6, or I guess the 06 in this case, the 14 and the 032. We know those three will work together there. BK Anderson, Vicente Guerrero, Cody Nagels. I expect to see some teamwork out of them. Ray Rittenauer, Brian Wang. Oh my goodness, that's a big move by Brian.
Yeah.
Gabe Butler and Eric Laurie. We expect those four to definitely work together. I feel like the 5 of Rick Sanchez, he'll work with anybody. I mean, he's a really talented driver. I don't think he's formally attached to any team, but I could definitely see Rick working with either of those two teams. And then you've got the 6 of Bud Steele, who's going to have some likely help from either the 28 of Nick Wing, the 51 of Jim Brooks. So you have 3 trucks in that pack, and they've actually all lined up now to the outside line. They're in the back of the main pack, but they are together. So that could be another pushing tandem group as well. So there's a lot of options, a lot of opportunities for these drivers. Bud's already starting to peak to that third lane here. Nick's going with him. Jim's going with him. But they don't have that momentum built up yet. I think, and realistically, I think they really need one more truck, or they need a little bit of a shakeup with these guys in front to be able to make something happen. So, but that said, though, everybody's starting to try to find their friends, find their dancing partners, if you will. But right now, most of them are separated. Right now, you got the 3 boot knockers on the bottom. That is a good setup here with Ray, Brian, and Gabe. And they're going to get a big draft here down the backstretch. And this is going to get dicey because now there's Vicente and BK. They jump to the third lane. But they're about to come up on the Groovers as they are... they go back too wide here. I think we'll probably see the Groovers run top along with the 04. Oh, man, they're still kind of jumbling up a little bit. So this... actually, Groover's going to hit pit road. Oh, we got trouble. Who was it that went off the track there? Oh, it's Eric Laurie. Big hit to the inside. He is parked the wrong way in the track, but the thing is there's nobody around him, so no caution yet. He's trying to I'm not sure. Yeah, the motor, I think, died on that one. He's going to have to take a tow. I'm not sure.
Man.
I think there was a check up there. We're going to go back and take a look here. I'll focus on Eric Laurie here.
He got pushed the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of contact. I think he was trying to check up with what was going on in front of him. I think there was they were uncertain about who was doing what. And, yeah, unfortunately, Eric, oh, man, it's a big hit to the inside. I think that pops the motor. And so, yeah, so at that point, so we'll jump back live here. We'll continue to watch as now, let's say that does unfortunately get rid of one of the boot knockers here to go for it. So now that leaves, we've got pretty much the 3 boot knockers on the inside. You got the 3 limitless on the outside. It looks like at the moment that 5 of Rick Sanchez down on the bottom. And then again, we'll have probably some of the 3 Roswell, the drivers here, like I said. But again, their goal right now is just Bud Steele. Actually, we got Mike Rimkus having some trouble there in the 79. He's off the racing surface. No caution as of yet. And I think we're going to stay green as well. He's down on the apron. What's happened to Mike here? Take a look at Mike there. He's in the 79. He's got the 18 of Brendan Briggs. Just a little bit off-centered, and Mike goes big hit to the inside wall. But again, all these wrecks are happening off the racing surface, Matt, so it's not throwing the caution. That was the same situation we just saw a moment ago for Eric. And we're down to it, though, Matt. 5 to go. The third lane starting to try to form. You see Cody, he's able to get in front of Brian Wing. Now you see Rick Sanchez, he's jumped to the middle lane. And just right now, there hasn't been enough momentum for Bud to get that third lane going.
Oh, we got another truck off.
Oh, yeah, the 998 Corey Buskirk. He is also off track, trying to get it locked down. Oh, he's going to back it up. We'll see if this. I think he's still far enough away. Yep, leaders are all going right by him. Still staying green. I say this
My
is.
goodness.
I say the iRacing admins say we want this thing to finish under green. They don't want to throw yellow here. But right now, though, now you got Limitless leading both lanes, Matt. You've got Cody on the bottom, Vicente in the middle. Oh my goodness, these guys are just squeezing each other now for all that they are worth. And I think the but I think the difference that could be made here shortly is look at Gabe Butler just slips in front of Bud Steele there to the middle. I was going to say is if Gabe stays bottom here, I think the move is going to be to go to that third lane, but maybe it being Rick Sanchez. Oh, look at Rick, big block there. Gabe's going to cut right back underneath him. Rick's going to keep that momentum held, though. Rick does not want to be the one to be pushed off of the way, so he's going to now lead that third lane. But big response there by that 5 truck trying to stay in that front lane. Now look how thinned out the inside and middle lanes are, Matt. 2 trucks in the middle, 3 on the inside. We got 4, almost 5 on the outside. Oh, man, we're getting wild here as we're 3 to go. Rick to the point.
Yep, so far, but I'm looking at possibly the 88 Gabe Butler. If he can get a great push by Bud Steele here, it's going to be lights out, and it'll be your pick would win.
Well, right now it's who can actually stay locked onto each other. Because I see smoke out the back. That is BK Anderson.
Blew up.
That's one more truck down for Limitless. Now he's popped the motor on that Sunoco truck. He's gonna have to try to limp it to pit road. Got it too hot, couldn't get it cooled back down, and unfortunately that's just destroyed the middle lane. Now again, everybody's trying to get themselves reassembled. Brian Wang tries to jump to the outside. He gets blocked by Cody. Cody now stuck on the outside by himself, but now they got to figure out where's the 10 truck going to go. 10's going to go high. 2 to go. Richard Sanchez, I apologize, currently leading after we saw BK blow up.
They're going to leave Richard.
This is going to end in tears at some point,
Yes,
though, because these guys
I-
are making some big blocks here with 2 to go still.
Richard just got a shot from the 14. Just really think if he's got time, he can cut in front of Cody, but I think the momentum is not going to be on his side.
Yeah, so
But can Raymond jump in the front of
I think, look at Bud Steele. He's going to try to peek to the outside of Cody.
Cody.
And this is going to be coming to the white. Gabe's going to go with him here. Cody's got no friends. Cody's going to try to push him up as high as he can. Oh, a little bit of contact. They hang on to it, though. But we are going to get to the white flag, Matt. We are 1 to go here. Or am I off a lap? Because that
You are
was
off
the
a lap. That
I am
is race
off a
over.
lap. White flag was
Good.
out. Wow, I am off my game here. Let's go back.
Yes, you are. Brian Wang's your winner, by the way.
I believe that was the pick of a certain Ryan Decker. There was so much going on, I couldn't keep track. So let's go back. We'll run one more time through the white flag lap. That's probably why we saw some of those big blocks being made. So coming to the white, here is Rick Sanchez currently leading. I said there's so much happening, I couldn't keep up. And yeah, that's where he gets stitched, like you'd mentioned there, by the 05 and 87. That's teammates there. I mean, that's them working together. They're able to get to the outside. And then, like you said, they get back in front of him. Big bump by the 14 to the 5. And then you got Cody Nagels leading the outside with Bud Steele. But then Bud's going to try to make that move we saw out of turn 4. So we'll let it play through here. And there goes Bud. He jumps to the outside of the 6. He's trying to get all the spots he can get for himself. Because, again, he was on the edge of the points going into that top 16 battle. Gabe's going with him as well. And then you get the dash to the line. You see Ray Heap jumps out at the last moment as well to try to see if he can do something. But at the line, there's nothing going to be done there. It's going to be Brian Wing over Raymond Rittenauer, Rick Sanchez, Vicente Guerrero, and then Bud Steele's going to round out that top 5. And, yeah, they were going so quick. I was off a lap there, Matt. So we'll jump back live. We'll watch the celebrations here of... Oh, we got some team celebrations, and here comes the 5 truck. He's going to bowl into the 2 of them as they celebrate their top 3s tonight. But, oh, man, that was going so quickly. Now it's just I'm just going to go have a little mini demo derby, it looks like, on the front stretch here. And, yeah, Ryan, your pick did win there, so good call on that one, sir. So with that, let's talk to our top 3. We're going to kick it off with a Mr. Rick Sanchez once we hunt him on down. All right, let's bring it to the white. Pull up our number 5 truck. All right, here is that number 5 third place finisher here tonight. He added a friend to the door, and I feel like he gave you some good luck there, but there's only so much good luck when you got some teammates lined up behind you there at the end, I have a feeling, Rick.
Yeah. I don't know. He helped me out there a little bit, especially you're kind of out there by myself. So, like you said, surrounded by boot knockers, and I don't know. It's a pretty good race. That was a fun race.
I mean, you guys were. There was so much happening. I legitimately lost track of what lap we were on. I was like, "Oh, here they come to the white," and we're like, and then Matt's like, "No, that was the checker." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah, I was completely off a lap there, but I mean, just like you said, but you're right though. I mean, you're kind of surrounded by teammates. You had the boot knockers, you had Limitless. A little further back, you had some of the Roswell guys with Bud Steele and company. So I mean, is that gonna be something you're gonna have to maybe look into going into the playoffs in 1 week's time to try to find some friends and buddies to kind of team up with?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go offer somebody $20 or something to push me. See if that works.
Well, if you give me $20, just hey, $20 is $20.
Right.
I'll push you.
Well, I'll
see
say
if,
so.
see if I can buy a push from Cody or Vicente or somebody.
No, it was a wild one for sure. But I mean, and then towards the end though, then you start seeing Matt and I were looking like there's all these little spins happening. You see smoke, I'm sure, on track that's just off the racing surface. Then there's the will there won't there be a caution. I mean, was it?
Yeah.
How tense was it?
That. I was wondering about that at first. I was like, what's going on over there?
There were a couple. I mean, unfortunately, Eric Laurie, he got kind of some contact that sent him to the inside wall at pit entry. Who else did we see? I think we saw Corey Buskirk have a moment. Mike Rimkus had one. Yeah, I think there's like 3 or so incidents that happened at the very, very end. But yeah, it was kind of wild there, and so you never know for iRacing if or not it'll get thrown. But
yeah,
so
I was sitting good on the last lap, but
Yeah,
Like
say
I said,
if my numbers were off
too many teammates around me.
Yeah, I'll say if my numbers were off the other way, you'd been perfect to say because you would have had it there at the checkered. But I thought the white was 2 to go and the checker was 1 to go, and yeah. But an awesome job tonight, Rick. I'll say obviously locked into the playoffs. You've got looks like 4th place after the regular season, so everybody's going to reset to 0. So other than bribing some people with $20, I'll say what's the game plan going forward for these final 4?
I don't know. See if one of these top runners are looking for a teammate, another body or something. I don't know what to do. Like I said, try to make a friend out there somewhere.
Wow.
Somebody that wants to beat somebody better than me,
Well, I
somebody
told
that
you.
wants to beat a boot knocker better than me.
I told you, $20 is $20. I'll be your
Right.
teammate.
All right, well, we'll let you do your negotiating, but before we let you go, so you definitely had some supporters over on the YouTube, so definitely want to give you the floor here. Any thanks and shouts for that podium tonight?
Shout out to Area 51, always putting on a good league, good show for us. 40 Racewear, right, putting on a sponsorship for us. Shout out to Green White Checkered for our broadcast, and shout out to all the drivers for putting on a good show for us.
No, it was a great job tonight, Rick. Like I said, we'll find you some friends here one way or the other, and then say maybe you won't need the look of the Irish on the side of your truck to get that pushing you at the very end. But like I said, for kind of almost being a solo show, you've been doing a hell of a job this season. So looking forward to seeing you go after it for that title, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, Matt. That is our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Richard Sanchez. We're going to bring it now over to our runner-up. That is Raymond Rittenauer. And, I mean, they finished 1-2, so I'm just going to drag them both in together because that's always a good time, and it puts them on their toes. So we'll drag the wing in as well. But I'll say you've been kind of part-timers this season, but when you've been here, you guys have been kind of monsters in the races. Ray, I mean, you've had in your 4 now starts that you've had the 1 win and then the 2 top 5s. Brian, this is your 2nd start, 1 win, 2 top 5s. So I'll say, are you regretting having? Well, actually, we'll kick it off with Ray first. So you have to wait, Brian. Yeah. So do you wish you could have maybe hopped in here a little earlier in the season, Ray, and been able to just sneak into the playoffs, or are you just kind of having fun the second half of the season?
Yeah, I wish I would have done it a little earlier, but yeah, I'm just here to pretty much have fun the rest of the season and see if I can help these guys out a little bit.
I don't think you need to help Brian as much as you had to there, but we were joking with Rick that he's gonna have to find some friends or something because saw the 2 of you lined up against him. And it's like, yeah, it's not much you can do on that one. I mean, but those last few laps, I mean, you guys were going after some big blocks being made, or just when the momentum would shift. And of course, I'm sure also to keep the temperatures in checks. We saw, unfortunately, one driver pop the motor overheating. You guys have kind of switched lanes from middle to bottom to middle, and so on and so forth. I mean, how much of that was to try to help the pusher stay cool, and how much was just try to go where the momentum was?
I think it was a little bit of both there. I was getting hot rather quickly because I had fixed 1.5 minutes of damage. I was surprised I was even keeping up, but yeah, we did a good job keeping her cool there and took the run there at the end.
It was a really good run. So, Brian, now we got to switch over to you. Now, so you were the pick of Ryan Decker. He popped into YouTube chat and he was asking who we picked. I pulled Gabe in quick and early because, I mean, I feel like you can't do a St. Patrick's Day race without getting a Gabe interview with the Guinness sponsorship and everything. I was saying, of course, you two finishing top 2. I don't see much green on either of your cars, so we're gonna have to we might have to dock some points on that one. We'll see. But I mean, take us through the race. You started shotgun actually because you just made it in time. And yeah, I mean, able to make the right moves, get to the front there, and get the push you needed to from Ray at the end. But again, there was a lot happening those last 5-10 laps. I mentioned we were talking with Richard about like cars off track. Unfortunately, Eric got caught up in that incident towards the end. But then there's cars off on the apron and the backstretch. I mean, were you focusing at all on those things, or were you kind of just having to be just death gripping and focused forward on the what you guys are doing on track.
Yeah, no, for the last couple of laps, we were just honestly, I was just cruising. Gabe was telling me to go up or whatever whenever I got clear because temperatures and stuff. And yeah, I went up pretty much just to manage the temperature. And yeah, I'm sure that helped it so that there wouldn't be a third lane at the time, but I'm pretty sure a third lane did form eventually. And yeah, it was a pretty wild last lap. But yeah, luckily Ray and we were able to hit the nitrous switch on our Hash Brothers Performance engines, and yeah, luckily you got first and second.
Yeah, so those LS motors, I say they got some little sneaky things hidden underneath them, I've heard.
Yeah, for sure. We were able to pull it off last week as well.
Nah, I said you guys have been monsters lately. So yeah, I say same thing. I mean, is this one where maybe you kind of wish you're able to run a little bit more of the regular season, or are you just kind of enjoying to race when you can race and to kind of know you have a really good chance of being in contention for all the races that you are able to make?
Yeah, no, I'll stick to part-time for the future as well. I just can't stay committed enough to run all the races, to be honest.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have these young college kids, Matt. They're too dedicated to real life.
Yeah, gotta go touch grass sometimes.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Well, there you go. So that's what you need. You need to make like the what do you call it? The side skirt of your truck. Make that grass on it. That way you got that on there.
Maybe I will.
All right, we'll reach out to your. I don't know if Peter's your painter or is this one your own doing?
Yeah, I made this one by myself.
All right. So then we got to talk about the post race celebration. You guys had a good little kind of duo burnout there, and then you kind of got bowled into there by Richard at the end. Did you see that coming in the mirrors, or was that a little extra surprise there?
Yeah, it was a surprise, but yeah, we were just burning it down, and yeah, I was just trying to see how far I could take my engine until it blows up.
We were just trying to get the engines blown up so they wouldn't be able to tech them.
Yeah.
So that's a Kevin Hash directive. I know that for sure. But no, I mean, great job though, guys. Like I said, getting the 1-2 tonight. It was a lot of fun watching you guys battle there. And like I said, it was a wild one. But yeah, definitely. We'll start off with you, Ray. Any thanks and shouts for that runner up tonight?
Oh, gotta thank Lucky Dogs, my sponsor, Hash Brothers Performance, for the engine they put under this beast today. It helped with the damage I had. Got to give it to Brian for the win there, and you guys for putting on a good broadcast.
All right, Brian, it's back over to you, sir. Any thanks, shouts for that win this evening, sir?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for the broadcast, everyone at Team Butnaka, and of course, thanks to Ray for the pushing at the end. And yeah, big shout out to Hash Bros Performance for this extremely powerful Chevrolet engine they've given us under this hood. We were able to take off some tape at the pit stop, totally allowed, and we were able to just add some extra rocket fuel into the engine itself to secure a 1-2. So yeah, big thanks to them.
Man, I think we're learning things here tonight, Matt. But no, again, congrats, guys. Well, that's a trade secret. They won't tell you that part of it. That's what you got to figure out. But no, congrats, guys. Go enjoy this one, and I'll say again, happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope you guys don't have too much fun, Brian. If you're 21 yet, I don't know. You're a young fella. But no, have a great night, guys. Congrats again, and look forward to seeing you in the next couple of races.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.
All right, Matt, that is our top two tonight. Got to grab our third place finisher just a little bit ago as well. So now we got to pull up our remaining finishers for tonight's event. And again, it was a wild one tonight, just the way everything was happening and cautions, no cautions. And yeah,
weird netcode.
It was the crazy netcode situation. And yeah, it was a wild one here tonight, but Brian Wing, Raymond Rittenauer, they're going to get the 1-2. Richard Sanchez, like I said, he's got to find some friends. Even without the extra help, he still brings it home in third. You have Vicente Guerrero, Bud Steele. We saw him make the moves to get up into that top five. Again, he was trying to make sure he had all the points he needed to get into the playoffs. Cody Nagels, unfortunately, let's say dropped a few spots at the very end, but still brings home 7th. Say BK Anderson, that motor popped there towards the end. He finishes in 8th. Kevin Hash, Todd Merkel round out our top 10 and our lead lap finishers. And then drivers a lap or more down, including Nick Wing, Jim Brooks, Jason Bogart, Jeremy Osborne, Jack Walls, Seth Patrick Groover, Bob Fitzgerald, unfortunately, caught up early in that incident as well. Just not the night for him. And then towards the end, we saw also Brandon Briggs there, 19th. But then Eric Laurie, that late incident for him, unfortunately dropped him all the way to 20th. He still is in the playoffs. So that'll be job number 1, I think, for Eric. And then Corey Buskirk, Frank Ranger Jr., Ambrose Nabel, and Mike Rimkiss. We don't count that number 25th position truck. He wasn't actually here.
He's a bum anyway.
Yeah, so. But yeah, Matt, that's it for tonight. That's it for the regular season. Well, for the Super Speedway side of things, we have Tuesday off. We have Thursday off. Give everybody kind of a little bit of a break before we kick into that final 4-race stretch of the season. I think there will be one more Sunday off for the Easter weekend here on Sunday nights. But then we'll be there the rest of the way. So, Matt, as always, it's a pleasure. Don't enjoy the evening too much yourself. That way you can make sure you get to work on Monday.
I'll be fine. I don't drink that much on
I'm just teasing.
work days.
Everybody that watches, that supports us here on YouTube, like I said, always really appreciate you guys chiming in, letting us know kind of who you're rooting for. That way we can kind of give them a little bit of extra love, things like that. It's a lot of fun for us to do this with your kind of participation. So thank you all so much for being a part of it as well. Ryan, Caitlin, like I said, all our love to you guys. If you need anything, by all means, please do not hesitate to reach out. I don't have a huge reach, but I'll use any reach I have to help you guys out if you need it. So we definitely thinking of you guys. Love you. Give all your love to your kiddo. And yeah, so for that'll be it for us for here tonight on Green White Checkered TV. And of course, as always, if you can, please take care, stay safe, have a good night, and we'll see you all in 1 week's time. Take care, everybody.